Nona Peltier joins us in the studio to talk business. Net migration figures, annual net migration figures. What's been going on with those?
Well, look, the numbers have shown a switch. We're seeing fewer people arriving and more people leaving. So we've got a situation where our numbers are down and expected to continue, which is an interesting position because we've been talking about immigration being an issue. Government said, look, we've had too much immigration, and now we're seeing a shift which is causing some concern to economists, for example, because they're concerned that it may mean that we're going to have more shortages in key labor market areas.
Do we have any more detail on who's leaving? Whether it's Kiwis going offshore or what?
It is New Zealanders leaving, yeah. It says here that there was more New Zealanders leaving than before, and so we had a net, basically more, about 3,400 more New Zealanders leaving than returning. These are citizens as opposed to just general migration. And so overall our total net migration was 61,800. And so we had people arriving. We had migration of 64,900. That was the number coming in. But 3,100 more New Zealanders were leaving than arriving.
Where are they going? Do we know that?
I don't actually know exactly where they're going. They could be going to Australia. We were just speculating about why are people leaving, and there's probably a lot of reasons. Opportunity, the housing market. I mean, it's difficult for people wanting to get a good start here in New Zealand, whereas other, say Australia, for example, you potentially could buy a house cheaper if you wanted to live in a big city there. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to tell. And what's going to happen now is we no longer have departure cards. So from November 5th, just earlier this month, we don't fill those cards in anymore. That's going to change the way the numbers stack up. We've also seen these most recent numbers, a drop in the number of student visa applications. So in many ways, the changes are going to change, I guess, the economy in some way. We've got fewer students coming, fewer migrants coming, and more New Zealanders leaving.
And lower unemployment.
Yeah, and the unemployment at very low levels, below 4%. So we've already starting to see the labor market as one of the key issues. When you ask about business sentiment, they're saying, look, we're having a really hard time finding the people we need to do our jobs. And now I think you might see there even more pressure coming on the government to relax immigration rather than tighten it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So it will be an interesting thing. We don't know whether this is a trend or just a blip. It's too soon to say.
What about the markets today? What's been going on?
Okay, so we ended up 1/3% on the markets. That's we've had some down days, as you know. So we ended up at 8,703. That's a rise of 31 points. The dollar was down slightly, just a little bit, 68.1 US cents, 93.9 Australian, and 53.3 pence. And that's really because of volatility in the US dollar. People aren't sure which way is up there with the US economy. Some people are thinking maybe it could be slowing down. There's concern about global economic growth too.
All right, thanks Nona, appreciate it.